Welcome to this brief guide on the new SciSpace agent skills and extended apps integrations. If you are anything like me, your research files are scattered everywhere. You've got PDFs in OneDrive, notes in Notion, and code repositories in GitHub, and you're constantly switching between them just to pull a project together. Add to that the sheer amount of time wasted manually formatting presentation slides, and the whole research process can feel incredibly disjointed. So what if you could connect your entire research stack into one place and have an AI agent autonomously build your presentations, write your grant proposals, or generate project websites from that data? Well, today we're diving into the brand new updates to the SciSpace agent, extended apps integration, and expert mode skills. Now, before we dive into the solution, I do want to quickly mention that the team at SciSpace has compensated me for my time in producing this video. However, all thoughts, opinions, and the workflows you're about to see are entirely my own. Now, let's start right here on the SciSpace homepage. If you've used the SciSpace agent or any of their deep literature review tools before, this central prompt field is going to look very familiar. But if you look super closely, you'll notice a brand new addition right here, the Connect Apps button. I'll go ahead and click that, and it opens up a pop-up window right inside the browser. Now you can see a variety of apps that we can link up. You've got your reference managers like Zotero and Mendeley, and now we also have these incredible new external workspace integrations such as OneDrive, GitHub, and Notion. They're also planning to bring in Slack very, very soon. Now, if you originally signed into SciSpace using your Google account, you already have the ability to pull files from Google Drive, so these new apps are all just additional layers of connectivity. The main benefit here is eliminating the manual handling of files. No more downloading a PDF to your local drive just to upload it again into an AI tool. You just connect your workspace and work directly inside the agent. Now for this demonstration, I'm going to connect a OneDrive account. I'll just find OneDrive in the list here and click Connect. This brings up the standard Microsoft sign-in window. I'll quickly pop in my credentials. Now it will ask me for two-factor authentication, which I highly recommend you always have enabled to protect your data. So I'll just approve that on my phone. And just like that, we are linked. Now you can connect multiple apps at once if you have your research spread across GitHub and Notion as well, but we'll stick with just OneDrive to keep things simple for this tutorial. Now that our OneDrive account is securely connected, it's time to actually prompt the agent. I'm going to paste in quite a detailed, specific request here. I won't read the whole thing word for word, but I want to highlight how I'm structuring this so that you can replicate it. The most crucial part is right at the beginning. I'm telling the agent to create a professional presentation based on the research in my feline research folder in OneDrive. By explicitly naming the folder and the platform, the agent knows exactly where it needs to go to fetch my data. Now to show you what it's looking for, I'll quickly tab over to my actual OneDrive account. Inside this feline research folder, I have 11 different files, including some incredibly specific data that I've been compiling as to why my cat Dusty is the ultimate pet. Now, back in SciSpace, the rest of the prompt is giving the AI strict guardrails. I'm asking it to argue why cats are evolutionarily superior to dogs, but I'm also enforcing a cohesive, minimal aesthetic for the slides. I'm explicitly forbidding bullet points or full sentences on the slides themselves. Instead, I'm instructing the agent to shift the entire weight of the research and analysis into the speaker notes, formatting them as a thorough word-for-word narrative script. The key here is that the more detailed you are, the less editing you'll need to do later on. Now, the moment I hit enter, you'll see something really unique about how the SciSpace agent operates. It doesn't just instantly spit out a generic response. It actually maps out a transparent to-do list for itself. You can see it populating it here on the left. At any point during the process, you can click on this markdown file and it will open up on the right-hand side so that you can track exactly what phase the AI is in. Now, right now it's starting its initial research gathering phase. It is actively reaching into my connected OneDrive account, locating that feline research folder that we just looked at, and downloading those 11 files. Once it has them, it begins synthesizing the information, basically reading and understanding the context of all of those documents. But it doesn't stop there. It then steps out to the broader web to conduct additional literature research through scientific sources like PubMed or Google Scholar to supplement my own data. It's basically doing hours of manual reading, cross-referencing, and data extraction in the background. As the synthesis wraps up, we then move into one of the most powerful aspects of this new update, the SciSpace agent skills. You can think of these skills as expert modes that are built directly into the agent. When they are activated, they provide deep, task-specific knowledge and highly optimized workflows. Currently, they have rolled out a grant research skill, a website generation skill, and the one that we're going to be leveraging here today, the presentation generation skill. They'll be adding many more in the coming months. The brilliant part of this system is how frictionless it is. You'll notice that I didn't have to tell it some special command like activate the presentation skill in my prompt. The agent is smart enough to understand my intent to build a slide deck, and it automatically invokes the correct skill in the background. Right now, it's taking all of that synthesized research and applying its presentation expertise to draft a structured, logical outline for our slides. And then after the outline is locked in and agreed upon, the agent starts generating the visual slides. It first creates these as HTML previews right here in the chat, which is a great way to quickly check the flow and the text. But an HTML preview isn't really helpful if you actually need to stand up in a boardroom and present. But this is where the tool really shines. Once it finishes the previews, it actively converts those into a proper native PowerPoint file. Now I'll go ahead and I'll click this download button right here. Let's open it up in Microsoft PowerPoint and see what we've got. Now, the first thing you'll need to do if you're on a Windows machine is hit Enable Editing at the top, and then just like that, you'll have complete control over the deck. As we click through, you'll see that it followed my instructions clearly. The aesthetic is minimalist, and there are absolutely no bullet points cluttering up the screen. And if we drag up the speaker notes section down here at the bottom, well, look at that. The comprehensive word-for-word narrative script has been perfectly populated into the notes for every single slide, drawing directly from my OneDrive research. Even if the AI's choice of colors or imagery isn't 100% perfect for your specific brand on the first try, just keep in mind it basically gets you 80% of the way there in 10% of the time. You can then spend your remaining time just tweaking the theme or dropping in your own specific images. And there you have it. These new updates turn SciSpace into a true end-to-end research assistant. We went from scattered files in OneDrive to a fully researched, perfectly formatted PowerPoint presentation in just a few minutes, all with just a single prompt. I highly recommend testing out your own workflow with these new expert mode skills. Whether you're hunting for grants, building a project website, or making slide decks like I was, it's a massive time saver. If you want to try SciSpace and unlock these advanced features for yourself, be sure to use my special link found in the description below. Not only does it help support the channel, but it also gets you a fantastic discount on your purchase. The coupon codes can also be found in the description below. Happy researching, and I'll catch you in my next video. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to see more content like this, be sure to check out the channel. And if you like what you see, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.